We had a very busy week last week and also a busy weekend, so the pressure is on. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome back to the channel, and I hope you're all doing well. So last week we had a pretty busy one with selling a few cars, and over the weekend we sold a couple more. So the Jaguar F-Type, I advertised that on Friday afternoon, and by the Saturday morning I could have sold it twice, genuinely. So I had two sets of local people come in, and Justin, whose Range Rover we had, he's looking for a car to do some Euro trips in, and he took quite a fancy. But we did have Leslie, who again is nice and local, come in with her husband Dave, and they've decided to go ahead with it. So that one is sold. We've got to get that over to Tony this morning to have the alloys refurbished. They're a diamond cut and they look fantastic, but they've just got a few edges and bits and pieces, so we're going to get those done. We've also got the Mercedes-Benz C200 to get up the road to the Mercedes-Benz specialist so that it can have its service to be delivered over to Dorset tomorrow. And then I was in conversation with Lee, which I mentioned at the end of last video, who has decided to go ahead with the white Range Rover Sport, and we've got his Discovery 5 coming in later this week, so we've got to get that to Totnes Cross to have a service. And then this XJL belonging to Richard, I sold this to him well before Christmas, so it would have been later part of last year, and it's just got a couple of bits that we want to get checked out, so we're going to get that over to Totnes Cross at the same time. And then of course we're going to get the MOT redone on this one for Andrew, who has bought the Autobiography Range Rover. We've also got some parts arriving from BMW this morning, an ambient light fluorescent strip for the BMW X5 M50D, which is down at the workshops, so we're going to drop that down. So plenty to be getting on with already this week. And we've also got 3 new bits of stock turning up, of which I'm very excited to show you what they are. So yeah, it's going to be, the pressure is on, but we're going to get it done. So the Mercedes is now at the Mercedes-Benz specialist, and I've just brought the Jaguar over to Torbay powder coats, of which we're going to get all 4 wheels re-diamond cut. The rear one here has the very slightest of marks. I think you could almost get away with not doing it, but my worry is if I don't do it, I can't get the exact match on the grey. So I think I'm just gonna get all 4 done. It's the type of car that obviously deserves doing so. None of them are that bad. I say there's a bit of an edge just on this one here, just a couple of marks here and there, which is it's bound to happen on low profile big alloys. This side's got one all the way around, and then on the front here, this bit here. So again, nothing too horrific, but these are the guys to do your alloy wheels. Torbay powder coats, they've got all the diamond cut machines, all the powder coating, they even supply tyres and everything like that. Just do a fantastic job, so I wouldn't take them anywhere else. So I'm going to drop the keys to them, back to the showroom to pick up 2 more cars to do some more running around. So picking up the BMW part, actually take to Matt the fluorescent tube on that X5 M50D. Such a fun car to drive. So yeah, if anyone has one identical, I could sell it again, so please let me know. And that is the Range Rover and the Jaguar XJ dropped off to Totnes Cross, and we are in their mighty Matiz, which I think, Sophie, you wanted this, didn't you? Didn't you want this?
Yeah, it's a beaut. Oh.
The interior is something else, and it feels like Sophie sat on my lap. So we'll get back to the showroom with more running around to do. We've booked a few things in with Totnes Cross for this week, to give them a load of work to get it all done before the weekend. So, oh, look at that fog over there though.
Oh yeah.
Right, we'll catch you up later on. The forecourt's looking pretty empty now. I've obviously got a space at the end there, and then like 3 spaces at the end here. We've also got to take this somewhere this afternoon for a customer to use for a couple of days whilst we get something of theirs looked at. So yeah, there's a lot out, but obviously it's all progress, it's all being worked on, ready to hopefully all go out this week, apart from that range, which I know is going out next week. I've also been down to BMW just down the road, which unfortunately they've got the really sad news that they are closing that branch, which is a real shame. It's been there for a long time, and obviously we bought quite a few BMW parts from them. So yeah, Ocean BMW closing is really gutting, and obviously not really anything you want to see when you're in the motor trade for sure. But I've been down looking for parts for the BMW X5 M50D. So we ordered parts last week, but what's turned up is a trim panel which holds the fluorescent light tube rather than the actual fluorescent light tube itself. But then we've had the realization we don't actually need the fluorescent tube, we need the module to go with it. And we couldn't find it at all on BMW's system. And it doesn't matter where we kind of looked within, like whether it be body control module units or whether it be electrical harnesses throughout the doors or anything, it wouldn't list this part, or we couldn't find this part. And then ChatGPT to the rescue once again. Our employee Jeff, that I only pay £20 a month, I put a picture of it and just said, I'm looking for one of these, can you help me? It gave me part numbers, it gave me prices, and it gave me availability. I then rang BMW back up because I was back here when I had a good old conversation with Jeff. And I rang BMW back up, gave them 3 part numbers and said one of those is going to be the one for this car, and one of them was. And there are 12 of them on the car, so it's not like they're all individual LED modules that are listed. And obviously they can cross-reference it to make sure it goes with that VIN on the BMW. So we have got a solution which is great and made far easier with the use of technology. So yeah, he's worth every penny, our Jeff, for 20 quid. So they should be here tomorrow, which of course is slightly delaying Luke picking up the X5, but he'd rather it was all done, as would I. And he's in no massive rush for it. He just wanted to be right, and so do we. So hopefully, as I say, I've ordered 2, just in the anticipation that if we fit the one and it works and everything works, great. But if there's another one that needs to replace, I don't want to be waiting another day. So we've got the 2 that are going to be here tomorrow. I've also got the F-Type booked in with John at Get Smart, which I'll show you a picture of. It just needs a little bit on the front bumper there. Whoever touched that in previously looks like they just got this house paint out, but it's one of those, we'll get that sorted so it's looking right. But once the alloys are done and that's done, it'll then go over to Totnes Cross for an MOT and service. Been talking with Max about a couple of bits I'm buying from him this week, so I'm really excited to be showing you what they are. So they'll be featuring later in the video, obviously, because we haven't picked them up yet. But they look like really good bits of stock. So yeah, looking forward to getting them. But yeah, the forecourt's never hasn't looked this empty for quite some time. But obviously, we've got things to replace it. We've got part exchanges coming in, and we've also got stock coming in from Max. It just looks odd for the time being. But yeah, again, progress is being made, so we'll keep going. And now I've got a power cut, which has been going on for a few minutes. So I've got my jack on because the heating's obviously because it's an electric radiator. I've got no lights, no computer, no TV, obviously. I've checked the fuses and none of those are blown or anything. They're all still in the up position, so it's not a fuse. So hopefully nothing too serious, because I was in the middle of going through some finance quotes with a customer. And I lost them, obviously. So I'm hoping to go back in a minute, but we'll see. It's been a little over 2 hours and we still have no power, which is a bit of a shame. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into Mighty Mateus, back over to Totnes Cross, because Richard's Jaguar XJ is all finished and completed. It had a few fault codes relating to low voltage. So new battery and also an ADAS calibration later seems to have solved our issue, which is fine. And then Soph's going to follow on shortly afterwards, because the white Range Rover's had its service and MOT. They're just doing some rear pads on that for Lee. So yeah, she'll be heading over in that shortly. But let's go on over. Right, back at Totnes Cross. Obviously got the Lee's Range Rover onto the ramps, of which Luke is literally just putting the alloys back on, having put brand new pads on it. It's an interesting choice of tyre, we were just saying about that, to have on a Range Rover. It's a bit grabbery. But I do like it, it's quite cool. So it's fresh MOT, freshly serviced, new rear pads, and I'm going to take the XJ back while Soph's away with the Mini. And then hopefully we can get the F-Type shortly. It is now 6:15 and you cannot see me. I'm in total darkness. Obviously the power is still out. We've got the Jaguar F-Type. It is here somewhere, right in front of me. It is now Tuesday morning, so we lost the power between 2:30 yesterday, and it didn't come back on until about 9:30 last night. So yeah, that was fun, but obviously we still had a load of cars to do a bit of running around with. So still didn't get to leave the showroom till about 6, working in darkness, which wasn't that fun, but we got there. So the XJ is now back. Richards, that's now all sorted, which is good. The Range Rover is obviously back, which Soph drove back last night. And then we've of course got the Jaguar F-Type, and the alloys are looking fantastic. Obviously I couldn't show you last night because it was pitch black, as in like all of the street lights and everything were all out. So yeah, it was a bit of an eerie evening, but the alloys are looking fantastic on the F-Type. We're gonna get this down to John in just a moment at Get Smart, because there's this little bit here to sort on the front bumper. But also during the power outage, which is a real pain in the backside, we ordered some LED light modules for the ambient lighting on the BMW X5 M50D, which is down at the workshops. So just as it had come through to me and I paid the link and everything like that, the power outage happened, which meant that they weren't able to then order the parts from BMW, which means they're not arriving today. They're arriving tomorrow, which is a real pain if I'm honest, but nothing I can do, nothing anyone can do. It's not BMW's fault. It's just obviously the delayed effect of a power outage, which is a bit of a pain. But we've also got to go and pick up the C200, which is up at the Mercedes-Benz specialist at the top of the hill. They also lost power, which meant that they couldn't get it onto the ramp at the end to do a couple of bits on that. So we're going to go pick that up in just a moment. I was meant to be taking that to Dorset on the back of the trailer, which obviously I would tow with my truck. But the wind, we've got a severe wind weather warning at the moment, and it is absolutely blowing a gale. So I think I'm going to suggest that I'll drive it to her instead, because it's just not worth the risk. It's not worth the risk of her car, nor me driving it or anything like that. But she'll still get her car this afternoon, which is fine. But yeah, it's really blowing a gale. Plenty to be getting on with. We'll crack on. Well, I'll tell you, the wind and the weather is horrible today. So spoken with my customer, she's very happy for me to drive it over to her at the risk of, obviously, we don't want her car being damaged at all when it's on the trailer, and it's too risky. But that's all now clean, so I'm going to head off to Bournemouth in just a moment in that to do the swap over. But we just picked up my favourite car that I have at the moment is the Jaguar F-Type, and of course John down at Get Smart in Stoke Gabriel has done a fantastic job, as he always does. So we've got the alloys done, that little bit on the bumper. It's booked in tomorrow to have the service and MOT, so it'll be ready toward the latter part of the week, obviously. We've ordered parts for other cars that are at the workshops. We've got two that are arriving tomorrow, one on the Thursday, so I'm very excited to show you what we've got coming in. But the weather's horrific, so let's get the Mercedes out. This Range Rover in, because obviously this one's all serviced, MOT with the rear pads and everything, so we'll get that one all valeted so it's ready to be collected on Thursday. And then obviously, as I say, a bit of running around to do, but I'll be gone. It'll be 4.5 to 5 hours round trip, I imagine, by the time we get to Dorset and back. But one of those things we agreed to do as part of the deal. At least I've got a nice car to do it in. So yeah, I'm hoping the wind eases off. Let's get to it. Just gone at 10 to 8 on the Tuesday evening. Obviously I've just dropped the C200 to Alison in Bournemouth, who absolutely loves the car, which is great news. And I've come back in the 2012 Audi A3 Cabriolet, which came in part exchange, done 105, but lovely car, drove really well. I've obviously already traded it out with Max, of which we're going to get a couple of his cars. But yeah, it's just a horrible journey today. The weather was awful, which means the roads were rubbish. And yeah, so just glad to be home, to be honest. But yeah, really excited for tomorrow with some cool bits to pick up. It is now Wednesday morning, of which the weather again is absolutely horrific, but we're making things happen. That little A3 is an absolute little gem, actually. I'm going to show you around it. It's a 2012, it's an 105, but it falls right in the bracket of £30 a year to tax. It's got a great service history. The lady who I took it in part exchange from actually took it to Poole Audi for the last few years, so wouldn't have been a cheap car to service. It's even got the Continental tyres all around, which people don't tend to do on a car of this age and this mileage. It drove absolutely great, and they're so economical as well. It's one of those things where, like, if I knew someone who was looking for a cheap run around, it would be the perfect car. But I've already traded it out. Max is having this shortly. We're going to go pick up a couple of bits from him, which I'm very excited about. Obviously, this week just seems to be a write-off regarding the weather, so I'm not even sure I'll be able to get them photographed and advertised. Hence the hat. I wear hearing aids, and the hat protects the hearing aids. So Yeah, and then Nathan's been in to pick up obviously the F-Type, which has already been MOT'd with no advisory, which is great. He's left his truck, so when that's all done with the service, we can go and collect that. And we've also got the parts, the LED modules coming in from BMW. They've confirmed that they're at the dealership, so we're first on their route. We're literally the next garage up, so they'll be delivered soon. We get that to the workshops, so plenty to be getting on with. Yeah, let's go get these two cars. We're also trying to make it standard practice on any L494/L405s that come through with the sunroofs. They may not be blocked at the moment, but the drain channels continuously do get blocked and can cause issues further down the line. So I'm literally just in the process now. I've taken this trim off here, which you can see it's lying there. It's relatively easy, it just pulls off. And it's a 20-minute thing to do, and kind of gives me the peace of mind that the drains aren't blocked. So if I step up here a second, what I've got is one of these. It's really quite good. I've already started threading it through, but you can see the drain hole just underneath there. That on the end of it, it's got like a brush type effect. I'd say about half of it's gone in. So I shall keep threading this and then gently pull it back out, and you'll see a load of gunk basically within the brush. So I've kind of hit a hard point now, and I don't want to force it too much because, as I say, they're not the nicest of things to work with, and they can get a bit fragile. So I shall gently pull this out and then show you the gunk on the end of it, basically. So that was nice and clean when it went in, and it's very wet and grimy, as you can see with my hands, and there's a bit of grime that's come out of the hole. I just think it's worth doing, trying to prevent. I always think, you know, prevention's better than the cure in these instances. So we'll do the other trim now, but yeah, just something we do. Edward, he would absolutely love to be out here looking at these wicked bits of stock. Look at that, that is such an eyeful of a Range Rover. And obviously a lot of you are going to have already guessed, but that is a wrap. But it is the best wrap I've seen on a vehicle, because they have gone to town. And when I say to town, they have done all of the inside of the door shuts. And on the inside of the actual doors. All of the boot lining, everything, because its original colour is metallic chorus grey. So it's the most extensive, and I'd imagine most expensive wrap job I've seen on any car that's come through. And don't get me wrong, I'm not an absolute expert in it. I don't deal in wrapped cars too much, but it's a 4.4 SDV8 Range Rover autobiography with an enormous spec, done 71,000 miles, got a ghost immobiliser on it as well. Lovely history, been serviced 7 times at main dealers, including transfer case, oil change and everything like that, all on time. So it is an absolute perler of a bit of stock, which I'm very, very pleased with. Both original keys. The alloy wheels desperately need a refurbishment. And these alloys, they're not original to the car. I'm sure that they're going to be the 22 alloys that have come from the full-size Range Rover. But they've done the inside of the bonnets and everything. Like, it is wrapped. You wouldn't know unless you were really looking for it. And of course, you'd know it wasn't a standard colour, but it's a real eyeful. It's like a satin finish. I think it's a bit of a perler, that. I think it's really, really cool. I was half tempted to get it in and just take the wrap off, but it's quite expensive to do so, and I think it's going to help sell this vehicle with the wrap on. There are a couple of bits which I don't even know if you can get like repaired almost, but just a little bit here on the door, which is a little bit the worst of it, and then there's a bit on the boot as well, which I won't open because, well, I don't know, it might open, or it will just about. But yeah, they've done absolutely everything with regards to the wrapping. The weather's horrific, but I think that is a very good bit of stock. So much so that Matt, who is actually, he's been viewing the channel since I really first started it, and he bought his current Range Rover from when I was over in Ipplepen. It must be more than 3 years ago, maybe even 4 years ago, and he's been pestering me forever. Sorry, Matt. about a 4.4 SDV8 Range Rover Sport in the new shape. They're quite hard to come by. They're a bit of a rarity. There are a few on Auto Trader, but they don't come up for trade that often. And when they do, they've normally got well over 100,000 miles on it, which makes it a little bit more difficult to sell to the next man. But this one here, the service history is fantastic. As I say, serviced 7 times, all on the JLR database, and also had the bits that need doing. It's got Merv Hannon plates on it, of which that was a very reputable dealer in Bournemouth. So that is a proper eyeful. Very, very pleased with it. And then this one is a bit odd, but well, I say it's oddball. It's just something that I've not really dealt with before. A Mercedes-Benz V-Class, a V250D. I'm going to take it to Tony in a moment because the alloys are pretty knackered on it. But just, I don't know, it just got offered. I mean, Max has come in and it's a bit different because it's got the electric rear sliding doors. It's an 8-seater, is it? No, 7-seater. Got the pan roofs. There's a table somewhere, it might be in the boot, that goes into the centre. But this one's done 76,000 miles with a full history, 2 owners from new. Lovely spec, got the 360 cameras and lane departure warning. So yeah, that's a pretty cool car. The rain is picking up. But yeah, it's just, as I said, I've never really dealt with them previously, the V-Class. Never had one before, so I thought we'll try it, it'll be something different. And apparently, so the Mercedes-Benz specialist up the road, which have obviously been doing a couple of bits for me this last week, I spoke to him about it. It's just proper good news, actually, when they've had them previously. This rain's not letting up, but got all the adaptive LED lights, 67 plates, so it's the first of the facelift. 2 owners from new, both original keys. Long wheelbase, AMG line premium. So it's quite a big truck, or a big van, with the 2 pan roofs, which apparently is hard to come by. So yeah, cool bit of kit, of which I'm not going to get even close to advertising them this week because it's hammering it down. And we've also, to be fair, we've got loads to be getting on with the sold cars. So the BMW X5, those parts came in, so took it straight down to the workshops. Hopefully we get that back this afternoon. He wants to collect that tomorrow afternoon, which is fine. And then we've got the F-Type going out at the weekend, which has had its service and MOT today. Nathan's going to bring that back through when he picks up his truck later. We've got the sold white Range Rover, which is all cleaned and ready to go, but obviously that needs to come out. He's coming to pick that up tomorrow. Look at me, I'm getting absolutely soaked. The part exchange coming in against that. I've already got someone who again watches the channel called Graham, interested in his Discovery 5, so I'm going to photograph that and everything when it comes in because he's relatively interested in that. So yeah, there's a lot going on, and a lot of it is coming from YouTube, which I really do appreciate anyone who watches the channel and enjoys the content. So please don't forget to like and subscribe. Very, very happy with the 2 bits of stock, and I've also got another one turning up tomorrow, again from Max. Again, that's a bit peculiar. That it's a spec I've not seen on one of these before, and we've had a couple of them. So yeah, very much looking forward to getting that one tomorrow. Max has obviously driven back in that Audi A3, which seems to just, I mean, it seems to run on air. It's so economic. So he's all pleased with that there. It also turns out, because I spoke to Audi about it, they had an Audi service plan on that car until 2027. So really well looked after little gem, which we like to see every now and then. But yeah, I'm going to go inside because I'm getting absolutely drenched. But I've already got someone. Matt is coming over to have a look at the red Range Rover. He'll be here shortly. And then I've also got someone who wanted to have a look at the V-Class to convert it to a camper. Whether it's him or not, I don't know, but he's going to come and have a look. Okay, so it's now Wednesday evening, of which we've got the Mercedes V-Class over to Tony so that he can have it for first thing in the morning to do the alloys. I really like this colour. It's really grown on me the more I walk around it. Matt did come in to have a look, likes the car, not so sure on the wrap though, doesn't think that it's for him. So we've also had someone who drives past locally, Wrap Works, to come in and have a look and give us a quotation to take the wrap off. But of course the worry is what's underneath the wrap, and also are we going to get a bit of lacquer peel come from it as well. So he's going to give us a quote tomorrow morning on that. He's had a good look around it, he's taken what he needs to take, and he reckons it would be about 4 days worth of work to take it off. But again, all depends with whether we strike a deal with Matt, because he's got his Range Rover that I've already mentioned. He bought that from us, so that'll be an interesting deal if that goes through. And also we've got the F-Type back, so that is now all ready, just needs to be valeted and ready for collection this weekend. We've got the MOT to do on the grey Range Rover tomorrow, so that'll be fine. And then Lee's going to be with me tomorrow morning to collect his lovely white Range Rover and his Discovery that's coming in part exchange. I've already got someone who's kind of earmarked for it as well, so I'm going to keep him in the loop, send him a few pictures of it when it lands and see if it's one for him. So yes, another productive day. The BMW X5 is really confusing me. So we've done the LED modules within the door card. It still doesn't seem to like the fact that they've been replaced. So the ambient lighting still isn't working as intended. So we're going to try a hard reset. So we're literally going to leave it in the workshops with the battery disconnected in the hopes. And again, talking with ChatGPT, good old Jeff, he reckons that we went through the whole procedure. It's very, very useful to kind of go through the ChatGPT with those side of things. So he's recommended that we do that, and then hopefully in the morning it will then recognise that those LED modules are new and the ambient lighting might work. Failing that, we'll have to take it to a BMW specialist and see what their coding thing can look at. Just such a mind boggle with those type of things, but we will get there with it because we want to. So yeah, productive day, lots going on. That V-Class, the alloys look fantastic, so I'm looking forward to seeing them. And as I say, that Range Rover really interests me with that wrap. I think it looks really quite cool. So yeah, I'll see you in the morning. It is now Thursday morning and we have got a busy day ahead of us. I'm going to get the Range Rover out in just a moment to give that a clean because Lee's going to be here shortly. Max is going to be dropping off a new bit of stock, which I'm excited to show you. And the part exchange for that is also coming in, of which I'm going to send all the information over to Graham. Matt, who had a look at the red Range Rover, is of course due in at midday. Annoyingly, the BMW X5 still has no ambient lighting because we tried to disconnect the battery to kind of do what they call a hard reset on the body control module, but it didn't work. I didn't really have that higher hope, although Google might tell you it will. It's been in the trade for long enough to know that it doesn't always happen, but we're going to drop that over to a BMW specialist this afternoon. I've pleaded with them this morning because obviously they're very busy, and they said drop it over and they'll see what they can do over the next day or two. But it's just so frustrating because, of course, it's not like it's a massive integral part of the car, but it is obviously a nice feature to have with the ambient lighting. Everything else is done. It's all serviced, it's all MOT'd, it's ready to rock and roll. Just this ambient lighting isn't working throughout the door cards, which is a real pain in the backside. And you'd think it would be something so simple as a plug and play, but it never is when it comes to these modules. Might need coding, might need the FEM reinitializing, but it needs to be with the BMW software. Just a bit of a frustration, but we've got plenty of other bits to be getting on with today. So yeah, we'll crack on.
I would not want to be James right now, who is round that corner cleaning the disco. Here he is.
Weather's not giving me a break this week, but I've still managed to get this Land Rover part exchange. So big thank you to Lee for making the journey. Made it just in time, mate, to skip the absolute downpour that is currently happening. So yeah, I'll change the plates on this in just a moment when I get a little bit of a break in the weather to then send the pictures over to Graham, who's interested. But it is hammering it down. It is now 3:15 on the Thursday afternoon and we have been very, very busy. So of course Lee has picked up his white Range Rover and is making his way back up country, but he's got a lovely car to do it in. So thank you very much, Lee, and I know you watch the channel, so it's much appreciated. We of course had his part exchange Land Rover Discovery in, of which I managed to give it a quick rinse and a wash, get some photos over to Graham, who has decided to go ahead with the purchase because I've already told him quite a lot of the information before it came in. So he says send the pictures across when it's here and I shall take a look. And he's all the way up in Scotland, so he could be making his arrangements to come down to the showroom and we'll facilitate where we can. So I think we're going to pick him up from Exeter Airport, which is about half an hour that way. But if it helps him to get to the showroom, then of course we're very happy to do so. But it is a really nice example. I remember the first time round that it was in. It's an SE, but a lovely spec. So it's got heated steering wheels, got heated seats. It's also got the sunroofs at the top. and of course they're a 7-seater. It's got the power fold mirrors. It just really well spec'd, lovely history, and of course Lee has maintained it very well, so thank you, Lee. So that Range Rover will be the second car that he's purchased from us. And speaking of second car purchases from us, Matt has been in to have a look at the very, very nice Range Rover Autobiography Dynamic 4.4 SDV8, but we have ultimately decided the wrap isn't for him. So we are going to be getting it down to Wrap Works, and I'm going to do a whole separate video on this Range Rover with the preparation of it. So we're going to be taking it down to them so that they can take the wrap off the vehicle, because it's metallic chorus grey underneath, which I do think would look quite nice, to be fair. The 4.4s, they're wonderful vehicles, got a really enormous spec. So the fact that it's wrapped hasn't put Matt off, quite rightly so, because we can get that removed. And any paintwork or blemishes or anything underneath, and of course we will deal with it as and what comes up. So thank you very much for Matt as well. So we've got his part exchange coming in, which was the first Range Rover that he bought from us. It's an early L494 HSE. It's a 2013 63 plate, and again, I know Matt would have maintained that really, really well, done all the fluids as and when they're needed and everything like that, and it's going to be exceptional value. So if that's of interest to someone, then certainly get in touch, because we have them coming through. So yeah, thank you very much to Matt. I quite like the red, but I understand it's not going to be for everyone, and it's going to be a bit of a mission. Well, I've not got a key on me. It's going to be a bit of a mission to get it all unwrapped, but behind it, you can just see the rear quarter. I'm purposely not showing you that at the moment. It's another new bit of stock that I bought from Max. So I've had quite a few from him this week, and it's quite cool. So yeah, we're going to show you a bit about it. So what we have from the Mercedes-Benz AMG lineup is this C43, which of course many of you will know is the 3-litre V6 petrol bi-turboed engine, and it's got an enormous specification, so I'm quite pleased about it, really. It's a 68 plate. It's done 64, I think, on the clock. We'll have a look in just a second, but it's got the multi-beam LED headlights, which are a really nice upgrade on the AMG package. Nice style alloys on there as well. Got carbon mirror caps. We've got a carbon lip on the rear, but the inside is where the spec gets really quite smart. So we've got a Burmester sound system, which is really quite good. Brushed aluminium heated seats, obviously, but the seats themselves are the sport seats. They're like bucket seats, wingback, whatever you'd like to call them. But they're very, very nice with the red stitching and the AMG badge, etc. Opening pan roof, a lovely flat bottom AMG line steering wheel. And you'll see on here, we've got quite a few different things. We've got a heads-up display, lane departure warning, wood steering assist, if I can pin. Yeah, 64,000. Obviously, it's due a service, of which we'll get that done at the Mercedes-Benz specialist up the hill here. But it looks and sounds pretty damn cool. So yeah, very, very pleased with it. I think it's awesome. Heads-up displays, right, as you can see, hopefully you can see it on there. So rev counter at the moment, but yeah, really quite a cool spec. Got a nice wide screen on here as well. I'm sure it's got the rear camera. Oh, so we've got 360-degree cameras and also rear camera, which is nice. The adaptive cruise control. You can set the distance to the car in front. Obviously heated seats, as I've mentioned. Dual climate control. Lovely carbon on the inside here as well, which is quite nice. Also got the charge pack. I can see the little symbol down there, so you can charge your phone wirelessly as well. So yeah, proper bit of stock, really. Good 2 keys, great history, all with Mercedes, 64,000 miles. I think the spec's going to do this one. It's really quite smart. I love the red seat belts they have. Got the red ambient lighting going on in here as well. So yeah, it's just they are good fun. They are really, really good fun. It's the 4-wheel drive version, which they're not all 4-wheel drive. You can get just rear-wheel drive, but I think I prefer the 4-wheel drive, especially this time of year, given the roads and how greasy and mucky they can be. I think I'd just feel more confident and secure driving the 4-wheel drive variant, which is nice. But in terms of the bodywork, it's really quite clean. Obviously, it's wet at the moment. That's the carbon on the back here, which is nice. Quad exhaust, which is making everyone aware that you're of course driving an AMG product, which is quite nice. But yeah, even got within here the blind spot monitoring as well. So proper bit of kit. Got some really good bits that have come through the last couple of weeks, so I don't think that'll hang around too much. It's a subtle colour. I like the grey. I like the interior. It's really smart. So yeah, we're going to get it all cleaned up. It won't need an enormous amount, to be fair. It's turned up pretty clean, so we'll get it all cleaned up. But we'll most likely keep it in until we get half a chance to actually photograph it, because the weather again tomorrow isn't looking too grand. But yeah, really quite cool. I'm going to take the boys over to the field now. I'm going to get absolutely soaked and get really muddy, but they need it, so we're going to do it. It is now Friday morning, and once again we have made it to the weekend, but we have got a fairly busy day today. We've also got the V-Class back from Torbay powder coats last night. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do the diamond cut process on the alloys because they'd gone too low, basically. So we've had them done in a bright silver, of which is definitely the right choice for a big black V-Class, because it looks fantastic and they do an absolutely stellar job as always. So a big thank you to Tony and the team over at Torbay powder coats. And then of course I have the BMW X5 back from German Auto Services, which are a local BMW specialist to ourselves. So we replaced these little things. They're LED modules. There's 3 of them within the driver's door card. We replaced a few of those. But we couldn't do the coding aspect because of course we don't have the BMW software. We have the JLR software but not the BMW stuff. So we took it to German Auto Services, where they're literally 5 minutes that way from us, and they were very kind enough to get that sorted for us. And now all of the ambient lighting works because it's in like a link. They call it a limbus, but it's a linked chain of events. So we had the dashboard working, the driver's footwear working, but then the ambient lighting didn't go further than that. So once the chain is broken, which would have been at the driver's door card, none of the rest would work. So obviously we've replaced the bits that were faulty and then had it coded to kind of wake the system back up. So this is now all done. It took far longer than I would feel comfortable with it normally, but it's all, you know, it's freshly MOT'd. It's ready to rock and roll. He's going to pick that up this afternoon, so we're going to get that one into the showroom in a moment to clean it. And as you can see, today I am not getting absolutely drenched. So the plan is to get the C43, which is all nicely clean and fresh, in the showroom out to then photograph and advertise that. And we're going to get the V-Class up to the Mercedes-Benz specialist because there's something that comes up on the dash, which I'll show you in just a moment, but we're going to get it up to them to see if they can plug it in. And again, could be something as simple as a coding thing, and we just need the Mercedes software to be able to do so. But it's quite a cool van, really. It's not really ordinarily my stock profile, but I thought I'd give it a go. But yeah, we're going to get that up there now. All right, so in the V-Class, start it up. Starts up no problem at all, obviously. I'm going to get it serviced as well at the same time. And it comes on in just a moment. He says with all the confidence in the world. Normally comes up with a message, which now it's not doing. How typical is that? So I'm going to take this car. Oh, there we go, look. Distance, pilot and limiter inoperative. But then if I clear it, that's it. The cruise control doesn't activate. It's an adaptive cruise control, which is quite cool. But there's no like triangles or anything. There's no warning signs on the dashboard at all. It just means the cruise is inoperative. So I'm hoping it's a software thing again, which is obviously becoming a more and more frequent thing that we have to deal with in these scenarios. But let's get it up there, see what they can see. It is now midday Friday, of which obviously the V-Class is at the Mercedes-Benz specialist. They reckon it's a software thing too. Going to get it serviced at the same time. Behind me in the showroom, we've got the BMW X5 that's going out this afternoon. 2 dogs that are waiting to get across to the field. And the F-Type is just behind, so we're going to get those clean because the F-Type's going out tomorrow morning. I've just photographed and advertised the C43, which is fully loaded with specs, so that's a really good car. So I'm going to put the forecourt back together now, help Soph obviously clean the X5 and the F-Type, so that they're ready to go out, whilst also getting the dogs out. So yeah, pretty good day so far. As much as obviously this week has been mega busy and we've had some fantastic stock turn up, we kind of handled the pressure really well. So really pleased with everything all round, really. But yeah, we'll keep going. Forecast back together, and I managed to beat the weather for once. So it is starting to rain, the wind is horrific, but I've got the pictures done on the C43 ready for the weekend, so I'm going to advertise that now and get on with cleaning these two. So the BMW X5 has finally been collected. Big thank you to Luke, who's only local, and I really hope to see the car around because it was a really cool X5 M50D. That obviously is very patient whilst we got the ambient lighting sorted. Just a bit of a headache on that one, but we got it to the right people in the end at a German auto specialist who were able to code it for us. Because I was talking to Ocean BMW, which, as I mentioned earlier in the video, they are closing, which is a real shame. But there are still main dealer tactics there, because they wanted me to order a whole new door card at £2,200 plus the VAT, because that would solve my issue. Then couldn't find the little bit LED modules that we needed, which are these little bits here. And again, the help of Jeff, ChatGPT was able to help us with that one. So we got those fitted and then coded for a fraction of the cost. It was about £400 all in. With getting the ambient lighting sorted. Something so simple, but as I say, it is the way the modern cars are going. But the X5 M50D is a fantastic car, so he's going to be very pleased, and I hope to see it around. So this space here is empty because we're anticipating the V250D is going to be all done. Hopefully it's not too blowy, because it is really blowing a gale. So hopefully we'll be able to pick that up shortly, having had a fresh service and also the Distronic cruise control sorted. The C43 is all advertised, looks fantastic. Really pleased with that bit of stock, especially with the level of spec that it's got on it, and the history and everything. That's up at 26,995. And then we've had a really good week because we've had these two in and we haven't even advertised them, and we've sold them. Obviously this one's going to be a very interesting one with development, because we're going to get the wrap taken off. I'm intrigued to see what it's going to be like underneath that wrap. And we've also got a couple of other bits that we've done with Matt with the deal. We're going to swap his wheels over from his old Range Rover, and we're obviously still going to get these ones refurbished. So there's a bit to do on that, but we are going to be getting on with it next week. We're going to take it down to Wrap Works down in Plymouth to get it started on that. And then of course we had the part exchange of the white Range Rover that Lee purchased and collected this week. That one sold before we advertised it as well to Graham up in Aberdeen, who watches the channel as well. So fantastic result to get two sold before they're even advertised. And then Sophie is just cleaning, and she does a fantastic job as always, the Jaguar F-Type, and I'm going to miss that car because it is absolutely awesome. Sounds fantastic. So that's going tomorrow morning. Rich is going to be down tomorrow to collect his Jaguar XJL at the end there, which we managed to get sorted. So the workshops have been busy, we've been very busy, the pressure has been on, but we've got everything done that we wanted to get done. We've got some more stock to pick up next week, and we've got some more developments of things going through for the vehicles that we've got. So yeah, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It is always appreciated. Have a great weekend, and we hope to see you for next week. Thank you.